Mansfield up in Vermont. We enjoyed spending time with our friends from youth group. It was a really close group of friends that we had, and just so many fun times, fun memories. When I was 16, Corey taught me to drive a stick shift, so that was a fun memory. Once I fell in love with Corey, my feelings, they never left, even throughout a year that we spent apart at separate colleges on opposite ends of the country. Only a year had passed before our romance was rekindled, only this time it was at a new and deeper level. Our relationship matured just as we had matured individually. Our love continued to deepen and grow stronger as we continued our relationship long distance for the next few years. During my junior year at college, I spent a semester in England for 4 months, and during that time, we didn't see each other, but our relationship didn't waver despite the 4,000 miles between us. While I was in England, Corey moved from Vermont to New Hampshire. His job as a potter at Salmon Falls Stoneware brought him to Dover, only an hour's drive away from where I was attending college in Massachusetts. And just as his dad said, Corey was such a talented craftsman. He enjoyed using his hands to make pottery, and this was something that he actually had begun developing. He began developing his skills as a potter back in high school. Corey was good at fixing things. He did most of the maintenance on our cars, and it just amazed me how he just knew how to fix and make things. He was very much of a problem solver in this way. He loved to analyze and think critically about how to go about projects and how to make things more efficient and effective. He was always trying to improve things. And he loved to just roam the aisles in Home Depot, just thinking of just letting the ideas come for how he could, improve projects that he was working on. And I, of course, wasn't with him when he was roaming the aisles. In the spring of my senior year of college, Corey proposed to me. And Corey was very into doing things right and very much into the details in that way. And he spent months shopping for my engagement ring, wanting me to have the perfect setting and the perfect diamond. He was even on a first-name basis with many of the jewelers at the mall by the time he'd finally chosen a ring. When he proposed, he had his roommate at the time present with a camera snapping pictures from the other side of the room because he knew how much capturing memories through photos meant to me. And I actually have a picture, I think it's over in the frame over there, of him proposing. So, Corey and I were married 8 months later in December of 1998 at North Avenue Alliance Church in Burlington, Vermont. That was the place where we first met at youth group. Our wedding was the day after Christmas, and what a whirlwind that was. It was an interesting Christmas that year. Our love just got better and better with each passing year. I just kept falling deeper in love with him. We lived in Dover, New Hampshire for the first few years of our marriage. 3 years later, we built our first home in Milton. Corey loved the outdoors. He wanted space, so we purchased a 4-acre wooded lot. Corey loved the woods and loved working on our land as the house was being built, and throughout the time that we have lived there, that we've lived at the house. As soon as the papers were signed for the closing, he was out there with his chainsaw clearing out trees. And they actually, someone was hired to do that, but he wanted to give him a head start. So our home was built, and 2 years later, we brought Abigail, our firstborn, home from the hospital. And Corey was such, that's you. Corey was such a proud daddy. His face is beaming in the pictures of him holding her as a newborn. 3 years later, Allison joined our family. Both girls brought both of us together, much joy and laughter, and they continue to bring me so much joy. Corey adored his girls, and that included myself and Bella, our dog. I couldn't help but feel sorry for him at times being surrounded by a house full of women, But when the estrogen levels got too high in our house, he would simply retreat to the woods or to the basement, and more recently to his tractor. Corey dreamed of owning a big tractor. He loved heavy equipment, and he named his bright orange tractor Ugly because it was a coyote brand, so after the movie Coyote Ugly. Corey built 2 beautiful stone walls around our house. He dreamed of building a timber-framed barn at some point down the road, and I have no doubt that he would have done a wonderful job. Corey was passionate about the things in life that he enjoyed. After 3 years working as a potter, and after taking numerous computer courses, Corey transitioned vocationally and began working at Liberty Mutual as a contractor doing tech support work. Again, Corey had a way of being able to figure out new things, often things that he knew very little about. And whenever he would tell people that he went from making pottery to fixing laptops, often he'd get, interesting looks, and people would often respond with surprise at such a transition. Yet, in this capacity at Liberty, he was still working with his hands, just in a different way. Corey and I actually had the chance to be co-workers at Liberty for the 1.5 years until Abigail was born. We worked in the same organization, same building, same floor, just 2 rows away from each other. That was a blessed time for us to be able to be part of the Liberty family together. It was a neat opportunity for me to see a different side of him, getting to see him firsthand in his work environment. Corey celebrated his 10th anniversary as a Liberty employee just a couple of months ago. He came to know so many great people through the different positions that he held there. Corey was a hard worker and a good provider for the girls and me. His job allowed us to build our home and helped make it possible for me to stay home with our girls while only having to work part-time from home. And that was a dream for me, and he helped to fulfill that. Over the past few months, we've made some beautiful memories together as a family. Our vacation to Maine just a couple weeks ago was truly the best we have had yet as a family. We took the girls on a mountain hike leading up to a giant cross overlooking Lake Maguntacook with the ocean off in the distance. Excuse me. Corey spent time fishing with Abigail, and this was a really special time for them. And we have some precious video recordings of them reeling in the big one. With the busyness of life raising 2 young children, Corey and I had kind of forgotten what we enjoyed doing together. We worked on a puzzle together throughout the week that we were on vacation and discovered it to be something we enjoyed, a way to work as a team on something and have time to just talk. We decided that we'd try to do more of this at home when we returned. Last October, we traveled to Texas to be with Corey's family after his grandmother passed away. We had the opportunity to go see U2 in concert in Dallas at the new Dallas Stadium. Corey and I enjoyed U2's music, especially in our high school days. And it was a dream of mine to see them in concert someday, and to have had the chance to do that with Corey definitely fulfilled that dream. I'm so thankful to God for the good times that He has given us over the past year and throughout our 11 years of marriage. God and the church family have always been a part of our life.